Happy New Year, everyone! It's 2025, and before we dive into anything, I want to wish you all a fantastic year ahead. Last year was a roller coaster for me, lots of highs and lows. But unlike other years, it felt more eventful. I stepped into a new territory and tried a bunch of new activities that once piqued my interest. One of them was bullet journaling. I've always wanted to try it, but I thought it would be too much work to maintain. I tried a few times before but never stuck with it. However, late last year, I decided to give it another shot. This time, I kept it simple, no elaborate designs or artsy doodles, which I thought were what made bullet journaling so appealing. But I realized the real benefit of it. It helped me get my ideas, thoughts, and opinions out of my head and onto paper. I also started jotting down tasks and creating helpful lists like my habit tracker and my to-do list, which really helped me stay organized. So for 2025, I decided to commit to bullet journaling, not just for the year, but also on a monthly basis. If there's one person whose bullet journal I look up to, it's Amanda Chilli. Speaking of design, I started my 2025 bullet journal early, but I didn't record the process. However, I've decided to document my monthly journal starting with January 2025. For this month, I've drawn inspiration from Chilli, the character from Treasure Line Friends. If you're a treasure maker, like me, you know Chilli's big thing is his Hogwarts house, Slytherin. Well, Hyunseo is from Slytherin. You can catch that from one of Treasure's World Map Tour where they went to Japan. Since January also marks the Chinese New Year and the Year of the Snake, I thought it would be fun to combine all three teams. Chilli, the snake, and Slytherin. Purple, green, and red might not seem like the most intuitive color combo, but in the world of creativity, we'll make it work. First step in my journal is the monthly calendar. Sure, I could track events on my phone, but I really enjoy writing things down and looking at a beautifully laid out calendar. It just makes everything feel more real. Right next to the calendar, I've set my 3 main goals for the month. I used to think one goal was enough, but I've learned that progress is what really matters. Writing down goals at the beginning and end of the month keeps me motivated and helps me to stay on track. I also have to mention that I'm a huge fan of K-pop and Harry Potter, and you can definitely see that in my journal. For example, the idea of Chilli wearing a giant snake mask comes from Luna Lovegood in Harry Potter. She wore a giant lion mask to cheer for Gryffindor. Or was it Harry? It's one of those. It's that one of my favorite things that makes this design special to me. The next page we have my habit tracker. While many people track only their good habits, I decided to track both good and bad habits. The reason? Bad habits like overeating, overspending, excessive phone use, and just lounging around are often the cause of my lack of motivation. Tracking them helps me to stay aware of what I need to improve. When I avoid these bad habits, I mark them with a check. If I keep my bad habits in check, my good habits will naturally follow. And that actually makes me feel very accomplished. Now, for a personal note, I'm someone who struggles with the fear of failure and criticism. That fear has made me a bit of a procrastinator, or a lot of a procrastinator. I never had a traumatic experience in the past, but it's that fear of being labeled a failure that holds me back. I wanted to share this because it might explain why my journal is a little different from others. It's a tool for me to manage my fears and push myself forward. Because moving forward and doing things is actually things that I'm afraid of, because I don't want to fail, or should I say I don't like to fail, and I don't like people to call me a failure. Well, if I need to go for it this year, I have to go for it, right? Unfortunately, my camera memory filled up and I didn't realize it had stopped recording until I was finished with the bullet journal. But here's a quick overview. Next, I have my weekly notes section. This is where I write down my thoughts or any significant events. For me, weekdays tend to be pretty standard. Not much activities, but more reflection happening on the weekends. On the first page of this weekly notes, I also include my mood tracker. And this is to keep an eye on my mental health. I don't know if I will keep this up forever, but for the time being, this is actually very helpful. I want to fill my 2025 with positive moments and smile, because, like I said, I want to be the girl that goes for it, right? And in some sense, I want to change this year and make it a more positive year for me. I don't know what I'm going to do with the remaining pages for this journal, but I hope to figure it out as the year progresses.